Yeah. Akhila is okay, joining. So,
Oh
welcome
yeah,
to the
the
call.
video. Yeah.
Sorry for the delay, slight delay that we encountered. Uh, it was my bad, actually. Let me give a on what happened. So, last week I had a kid. So, only today I
Oh,
came to Hyderabad.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Mm.
So, today only I came to Hyderabad.
Oh, wait, did I hear it right?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear.
I said I had a kid last week.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I
Okay.
came to Hyderabad. So my
Congratulations.
laptop is giving me all kinds of shocks because I left it for 2 weeks.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So, audience, let's get back to the topic. Harish is saying something, how the parallels between data science and filmmaking equations.
Yeah, I mean, data science, if you look at it, it kind of reads,
Takes all
studies the
data.
entire data of maybe gazillion data samples and then
Yes.
pulls out the best and then presents you a certain combination which might work.
Hmm.
But if you look at it, data is looking at the past,
Yes.
right? And art also has the responsibility of looking forward without looking at things from the shackles of the past. I mean, you can pull the best from the past and present. It's going to be phenomenal work, maybe.
Yes.
But art also has the responsibility of not only depending on the past. It's not a startup where you create something, it has to be a hit.
Hmm.
But art also has a responsibility of presenting something that's absolutely new. So resting on data alone, as you said, everybody starts with a minimum of 32% failure rate, right? There's a
Yes. Everybody
32%
starts with
chance that you're going to fail.
52%. That's a
You know,
great
Mhm.
place to
68%
put.
is a hit. So when you start, everybody stands at the same line. There is a 32% chance that you're going to fail for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And then how you manage that is the whole game. So data, absolute respect, but there has to be a space for it. But at the same time, storytelling, ability,
Yes.
vision, connect with the audience, all those things also come together at another level.
Yeah.
Coming to the tried and tested part, I think even the remake movies which are remade,
hmm.
uh, they usually remake movies which are a huge hit in one industry to the other. How far do they include the same commercial elements to the same kind of audience? When each region has its own audience, so would it be similar audience which looks at the same content again and make it a hit? So how do the producers or the movie makers take this kind of decision to make a particular kind of movie and change it according to the audience perspective? Was
Yes.
something I wanted to discuss.
Harish, maybe you can answer it.
Oh yeah. uh, so I think we are going through a very interesting transition. Earlier, if a producer or a director picks a movie from south and remakes it for the Hindi audience, they could safely assume that 99% of their audience would not have seen
Not
this.
have seen it. Yes.
Correct. So I can maybe for the premiere say that well, call that director, maybe talk to them present, da da da, and it's done and dusted. That's how you give credits. But now things are changing drastically. Now they can't assume that 99% wouldn't have seen it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's one. Second, adaptation skills have been pathetic,
Ha.
right? The way you adapt a story to fit into a different region is pathetic.
Hmm.
Okay. So for example, Golgappa in the railways, in the train,
Hmm.
absolute misfire. It doesn't work that way. So when you're adapting something, there will be certain things which won't fit in the frame, something that will fit. So adaptation skills are a big question mark,
Hmm.
right? If we're able to do that, great. And as you said, different movies, different languages, different audiences. So
Hmm.
if you're unable to cater to the, and I've also seen people picking up mediocre projects and
Mm.
coming up with a remake, hoping that they can
Will do better.
better outdo the
And
original and present it to the
Tubelight.
audience in a certain way, and
Tubelight.
that has also failed.
Tubelight.
Like for example,
Tubelight.
Katputli. Which
Tubelight.
one
Mm.
were you talking about, Arvind?
Tubelight.
Tube Light, right? I mean, even if you look within the Indian film ecosystem, right? Katputli,
Hmm.
right? That the Tamil version was not a runaway hit. It was decent. I
Hmm.
think they picked it. They did not want to make a decent movie. They wanted to make a blockbuster in which ways. So they thought they could actually outdo the original and I think most of the money went to the cast,
Yeah.
and it turned out to be a disaster. So remakes, um, just because that's a hit, it's not going to be hit here. Everybody knows that. And adaptation is a big question. And what does your audience really want is the third one they need to answer honestly.
I mean, well, they're adapting the movies or remaking the same movie. Sometimes they bring over the same director, sometimes they change the director. I mean, when they change the director, the vision will obviously be different. So the commercial elements they might put in would obviously catering to Telugu audience might not cater to the Hindi audience. Let's say in Maharashtra, it might not do so well. So I don't, I don't know how to go about that.
Like he said, adaptation skills are needed. How you adapt to it. For example, um, uh, Gabbar Singh is a prime example. See, I mean, if now I get into controversies saying how they can say it like Gabbar Singh, when the Dabang was taken, I was very skeptical of how this film is going to be. See, it doesn't matter whether I like the film or not. It's a hit. Gabbar Singh was a hit. But fact of the matter is that if you look at the character from what Pawan Kalyan has portrayed to what Salman Khan has portrayed, those are on completely two different planets altogether. So this, but what Pawan Kalyan has portrayed, it touched the sensitivities of the audience. Not even touched. How do I say? That's his aura. He has put
Yeah, the one's sense of style and characterization.
yes, yes.
Come up like
Even,
that.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking forward to watch Godfather. I haven't watched it till now. I'm pretty sure that's what they have pulled off. Even Chiranjeev actually says this. I mean, recently, sir, how come you are adapting a remake story, which is already popular in Telugu, and how come you went and did it? He said one thing. Look at my history. All I've done is are remakes, and I have done pretty well, even better than the originals. That's what this challenge is. If you look at this Gharana movie,
Tagore,
Tagore,
Tagore also.
yeah, Gharana Mogudu was a sensation. That was parallelly it was happening with Rajnikant, Mannan, I think. Mannan was the film, right? Hari? Mannan.
Correct.
And it got remade in Telugu, and next thing you know, he's bigger than Bachchan after Gharana.
Hey, that was an era when, for example, you don't know. I mean, a lot of people will have to go and do a Google
Yes,
search to see
true.
whether Amitabh Bachchan's Namak Halal Dawn was made before or was a Tamil version made before.
Yes.
Because you are catering to an isolated audience which was not aware of what's happening there. Now that's not the reality. And to answer Akhila's question on a different director's version, now if you see there is a new pattern emerging where the same director
Same director have
creates, like for example, Arjun Reddy
Jersey,
or Jersey
Jersey.
or Vikram Veda. They want the same director because, I mean, because the audience is the same and and they want something similar, created for a different set of audience, something similar. So
add here to what Harish is saying. This thing happens when the story is not culturally that bound, culturally that rigid. If it is culturally rigid, then probably they'll definitely have to adapt. Uh, I mean, how do I put this in proper way? I'm pretty sure the next thing, Vikram Veda is very different. Vikram Veda is I think, what's that accent in UP? I think it's set in UP, and this thing is set in Tamil Nadu. So culturally, they're two different.
in terms of accents, Hindi they go all places. It's
Yes.
always a hot mess.
Yes.
So
Yes, but then what happens is, I mean, even before all these things, also there was Krishna Vamsi who went in the early 2000s. He did Shakti, uh, this one, Antapuram. Antapuram. That didn't work. I mean, their sensitivities were different. So it's like these things keep happening again and again right from the beginning of it. Of course, Raghavendra Rao went to Hollywood. He made hits, Himatwala. So it is there, but then how deeply it gets connected. Even K. Vishwanath also did a film, I think, with Rishi Kapoor, Sagar, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so
I think
so all these things, I mean, directors going there, that's always there. But how well that gets related to the catered audience is that's what matters, I believe. Uh, so thank you for your opinions on this, and let's move on to the other topic. See, I really want to touch ticket prices, man. I really want to touch ticket prices, but since it's very rare that I get someone, a female person, so I'm going to touch this interesting debate that we had once. But
okay.
unfortunately, we had issues that day. The panel members had to leave early, so we had to cut that cut that debate short. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay. Uh, so let me tell you one experience that I had. I went to watch this film Gargi. So for the viewers who are watching this again, I'm going to repeat the same story that I repeated in my previous podcast, but the panelists are new. So I'm going to repeat it. So please, please don't blame me. So I went to watch this film called Gargi. Sai Pallavi, of course. Sai Pallavi is probably one of the current generation's best. What happened is I stood there for two shows. I think morning show and evening show. I stood there for two shows and I was waiting. I mean, friends, of course. So trust me, it's a film about women, right? It's a female-oriented film about women, concerning women's issues. And for two shows, I stood there in front of that theater. I have not seen a single female soul
The theater.
in the theater, and it's not even a weekday or anything like that. It's a proper weekend, and the other, I think, F2 was still running, I believe. F2 was, I think that's a Suresh Productions own theater, so they're still running F2, F3, sorry, not F2, F3,
F3. Yeah.
F3. Harish, you might have gotten the doubt that అదేంటి రెండు different I mean times లో రిలీజ్ అయ్యాయి కదా అని. Even I had that doubt because that's a Suresh Productions own theater, so they were
Okay.
running it. So even we can't blame it. I mean, it's their film, their thing. So it was running.
Right.
I saw females going inside that theater and not Gargi. Which is in fact surprising. So my question to the panelists is, what does it take for women to celebrate another woman, a female actress, like a male celebrates a Paul Kalyan, like a male celebrates probably Ajit, Vijay, Mahesh Babu? What does it take for women to celebrate another woman? Before going into that, before giving you the mic, let me tell you this. People might say that, oh, okay, there are so much superhuman capabilities given to these people, hence the following. Fair enough. Superhuman capabilities were given to Ramakrishna. She played goddess for a lot of films. The last I heard, in one of the panelists mentioned that she played it for 17 times. I don't know the exact number. That's the epitome of superhumanness you can give it to someone. Nayantara played it. I mean, okay, let me put this way. There are colleges, there are legit colleges, female colleges, which celebrate Mahesh Babu's birthday, which celebrates Hrithik Roshan's birthday. I get that. See, I'm not against anything. You have a crush on someone, you celebrate. Delhi college, some people celebrated Disha Patni's birthdays. I mean, come on. So it's all right. Celebrating your crush's birthday is all right. In the same college, in the same place, what will it take for them to celebrate a Tapsi Pannu's birthday, to celebrate a Nayantara's birthday, to celebrate a Samantha's birthday? Uh, Akila, let's start off with her. because she's the right person for this.
Okay. First, concerning your fandom-based question, I think, yeah, you talked about how Mahesh Babu's birthday is celebrated in a
Hmm.
women's college, right?
Hmm.
So, there are also temples built in, Tamil Nadu or wherever.
Yes.
They have huge fan base for women. So men have built those, not just women.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I'm asking.
uh,
Because women, what will it take for women to celebrate on that?
yeah, I don't know. That's a valid question, actually, honestly. Maybe people have just seen other people celebrating Mahesh Babu's birthday or let's say Pawan Kalyan's birthday. Maybe men have celebrated it more than women have
Hmm.
anyway. So, following that, these people, I think, the women in the college didn't want to be let down, saying that okay, if guys can celebrate their birthdays, we also want to celebrate our crush's birthday.
Okay.
So maybe it is based on that. And maybe I should ask, when will men celebrate women's birthday? I think they do. They do
They do.
celebrate.
They do. They do.
Uh, they do celebrate women's birthday, but it's not on the
But
same level as in,
it's not about acting.
it's not
But
on the
my question is, it remains the same. See, okay,
the women
uh,
not celebrating women.
you're not celebrating. I understand why. Okay, let's assume they're bad people. They're bad for the sake of the debate. Let's assume they're bad. They aren't women. I mean, I was surprised. See, Sai Pallavi called her lady power star and all. I I was surprised to see not a single female soul entered the theater. Every person was male. It's very surprising.
Most of the women who go to the theaters, they go with their families. Maybe that's the reason you've seen people going to F3 movies because they want to be entertained. Gargi being a bit of a serious movie, I
Mm-hmm.
think the whole family didn't want to go there, and women tend to go where mostly their families with their families.
Okay.
So they go to a film where
Single lady staying in Hyderabad. I mean, with family or alone? You stay with.
single ladies. Yeah, there are people who are alone as well. No, I'm telling F3 and Gargi during that time,
Oh, okay. That
particularly.
thing I understand. But still.
But you can see, I mean, people do go watch. I go watch Wonder Woman. I go watch Taapsee Pannu's movie. There are many female audience who go watch Telugu or Tamil or whichever female actor is acting in a movie.
Hmm.
So otherwise, there wouldn't be a huge hit. I mean, Taapsee Pannu's movies, so many have come out and they have become a huge hit. I don't think without the female audience going in there, it would be such a huge hit. And she has been appreciated in a lot of forums because of her movies like Support,
Hmm.
whichever. I think a lot of women have written to her. I think she has shared on her social media profile as well. Like so many people have written letters to her saying that we appreciate you doing this kind of film because it gives us women a chance to express ourselves, what's going on.
Hmm.
So I think that has been going on, but maybe in a larger scale it hasn't.
Okay. I'll ask this question again, but let me ask Harish to chime in here. What's happening?
So one, I
Dragging
think
you,
one, I mean,
dragging you into a pretty controversial thing. That not the
no,
one.
no, no. This is pretty obvious.
This
There
is
are
a
multiple
relevant,
factors
Yes. Okay.
that I look
relevant
at.
question actually.
Number one is longevity. Let's understand longevity. Okay, if somebody was a Pawan Kalyan fan 16 years back, right,
Hmm.
still gets to see his idol on screen as a hero,
Hmm.
right? Women 16 years back who were on screen as a hero, how many of them are playing the role of a heroine till date? Very few. Longevity is a big concern, right? We've seen Ramya Krishnan, you said, I mean, she's been the epitome of superhuman capabilities, da 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 da. She's playing Vijay Devakonda's mom now, right? So we see the transitions. So longevity is one concern. And I think if there is a movie which all the women say that now, as a producer, if there is a movie which only the women are going to come and see, I think I'm going to shit bricks. Sorry for my French, because I know that's still a smaller percentage. Okay, and as a maker, I have to make movies for everybody. Now, about women, celebrating women, um, I think when it comes to entertainment, I think we shouldn't have that bias. Men shouldn't think that I want to put my money only on a movie made by a man. Similarly, women shouldn't have the pressure of having to support content created by women, right? Honestly, end of the day, after your grind, you're going there to get entertained. Whatever entertains you, you should be free to pick and choose, right? A female director with a female cast serves crappy content. I don't think the women should take the responsibility of supporting that project. Call a spade a spade. The content wasn't great, which is why I'm not giving you my money. I think we should leave it at that. Reason why they're not celebrated, we know that's the longevity is one concern, as I spoke about, and another thing being the financial control. Over a period of time, we see that in some pockets it's be equally distributed. Most, I think, I mean, even though it's something that we should be ashamed of, we have to confess the fact that financial control still lies with men. um, I don't think women are so insensitive or senseless to buy. I hope they are not insensible or senseless to buy packets of milk and pour it on heroines. Thank you for not doing that, right? And men do that. If that's what we're counting as stardom, I think we should thank women for not doing anything of that sort.
Yeah. And see, interesting point you raise. So if they're not doing that, and men are doing it, it's going to show a difference in terms of pay. Don't you think?
I don't think that is the reason why there is a difference in pay.
Hmm.
A lot of people ask, men's cricket, the players get paid this much. The women's cricket, they are paid very little. I
Hmm.
think the women cricketers, I think the way they handled that question was very smart. The day we are able to draw that kind of a crowd, the day we are able to draw that kind of a sponsorship, and we are pretty sure we will get that money as well. So I
Okay.
think it's not the chicken or the egg wala question here,
Hmm.
right? As long as producer are gonna come with stories, come with money, and keep 50% of the total budget mark for heroes, this is going to be a challenge.
Super. So I have one. Now we have 6 minutes left in this current meeting. So let me, if not, we'll join another one. Okay. So the thing is, if you know, Mr. Shivaji Ganeshan, once upon a time, in his early movies, he did the film with Anjali Devgaya. His earliest production, if I remember it correctly, she was the one who introduced Shivaji Ganeshan. Women had access to production. Anjali Devi garu had a production house. Savitri garu had a production house. Bhanumati garu, epitome. I mean, even rumors has it that
Garu.
ANR can't stand in front of her. They own production houses. They launched these guys, Shivaji Ganeshan.
As
Yeah.
a production house, what is your motive? Your
What,
motive is
no,
to,
you said that
that's what I'm
money,
saying.
To
money.
No,
make
no, no,
money.
no, 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 no. Money, I was talking from the audience perspective, right? Who decides, who buys? I was talking with the audience perspective. As a head of a production house,
Hmm.
like for example, if Akhila starts her own production house, I think her primary motive is to make money and
Yes.
make profit. That's logical. I think she'll have to start working on projects which
Money.
promises better returns.
Yes.
Or is she going to start looking for great female producers, great female directors, great female cast, and put them together? And no, that's so head of production houses does not necessarily mean they're going to, I mean, just because a female is in helm of a production house, does it's not going to translate into female centric content.
Well,
Also, the content written for females is mostly, overcoming certain challenge. Gargi, if you take, I think her father has been accused of being a rape victim and all this. We don't see much of positive content, maybe, happy family
we,
content which comes around women.
we good thing. That's a very good thing.
So, yeah. So, there's been a lot of negative content, like rape being the main focus of
Yes.
female centric movie. I mean, we have seen so many of such content and we see that in everyday life. So I don't want to go to a theater and watch it all over again because we already go through all that in our real life. So maybe we need more of those happy
Yes.
sort of movies as well. Which
So,
I like this conundrum, right? We are fed with a lot of a certain kind of content in real life, so we don't want to go and watch that in theater again,
absolutely.
right? Whereas in theater, people want to create realistic content so that
realistic
it connects with the audience,
No,
right? So that's where it is, and honestly, there will be a hit and a
yeah,
miss.
yeah. That's where I mean, all these the songs, fantasy songs, fights, all this have come up because a few people don't want to watch what is going. I think Nageshwar also, Garu, he had told previous in some interview, I don't want to make movies which people are already going through so many difficult situations in their lives. When they come enter a movie theater, I want them to live in a fantasy. I want them to forget what is going on in their lives, enter something
Yes.
for those precious moments. So maybe
Yeah.
that is
You
also
raised an interesting point, Akila, is that um, whenever a female makes a strong female characters, it's always going to be about abuse or something negative, which makes the whole tonality of the film portrays it's in a negative sense. But we've had content before, like Suvarna Sundari, in early Anjali Devi Garu days, or
yeah, yeah,
Swan Malleshwari,
yeah,
so we have had such content long before.
yeah.
Uh, this is an interesting thing to go. If I have to write, if I have to write a female-oriented film, I'll make sure I'll keep this point. Strength is not portrayed in a negative situation. Strength can also be portrayed in a positive situation. That's a very good thing. Um, yes.
But I mean,
Yeah.
if you really want to see the strength of white, it has to be put against black.
Hmm.
That is the mount in which people write stories,
Yes.
right?
There's a
Greater the
conflict, and then
great correct
you,
greater the challenge, bigger the hero,
Yes.
right? Lesser the challenge, lesser the hero.
Uh,
So in that limited time, if you really want to elevate an individual, how do you show the elevation? It has to be through some great challenges.
if
So
you look at it, if you
food
look
for
at
thought.
Vaikuntapuram, same thing if you made it with a female. It's a very positive film on the overall. If you take a simpler story and make it with probably Samantha or someone else, probably it would have been very good. Yes, we have 1.5 minutes left. Should we join? Should we cut off?
On the
I
ticket
don't
pricing
mind
thing, I think we
discussing.
should quickly talk that, and
Yes, we
then
have
you'll
only
have to
one
you'll have
minute.
to do some editing.
Rejoin again. Okay. Audience,
Right.
we'll be back in a minute. Let's rejoin it. Okay. Thank you.